I'm going to demonstrate the manual muscle testing for PIP and DIP flexion of the fingers. The muscle that controls PIP flexion is a flexor digitorum superficialis. This muscle originates on the medial epicondyle, the cornoid process of the ulna, and distal to the radial groove on the radius. It inserts on the middle sides of the middle phalanx of digits 2 through 5. It is innervated by the median nerve C8 through T1. The muscle that does DIP flexion is a flexor digitorum profundus. It originates on the proximal 2/3 of the flexor surface of the ulna and the interosseous membrane. It inserts on the palmar surface or volar surface of distal phalanx 2 through 5, and digits 2 and 3 are innervated by the median nerve C8 through T1. Digits 4 and 5 are innervated by the ulnar nerve C7 through T1. To test PIP and DIP flexion, you want the therapist sitting across from the client. You're going to want their arm in supination, and you just want to be able to stabilize their hand as you're doing it. So if you could please put your palm facing up towards the ceiling. You want to test each finger individually and each joint individually on that finger. So when I ask you, I'm going to have you bend the joint in the finger that I ask you to. So you want to stabilize these 3 fingers not being tested. And can you bend just this joint on your pointer finger? Good. And after she does that, you want to apply resistance upward. Don't apply resistance, don't let me pull your finger up. Good. So that's a 5. You go through, you do that with all the fingers. So can you bend your middle finger? Let me pull it up. Good. Bend. Good. Relax. And then bend just this joint. Good. So that's a 5. Now if she was able to go through the full range of motion and couldn't take any resistance, she'd be a 3. And if she can go through the full range of motion, just take minimal or some resistance, she'd be a 4 or even a 4+. If the client is unable to go through full range of motion against gravity, I'm going to control the client's wrist. I'm going to put them in a mid position or neutral position. I'm going to ask them to go see if they can bend their fingers at those joints again. Once again, testing each one individually. Are you able to bend your finger at all at this joint? Mm-hmm. And if she's capable of doing that, once gravity is taken away, she'll be at least a 2. You do that for all 4 fingers. And you can actually apply some resistance as well. And if she might be able to take minimal resistance, she's a 2+. And now if she's unable to bend her fingers at all, even with gravity minimized, you want to palpate the flexor digitorum superficialis muscle, which is right here at the palmar surface of the wrist. And you want to feel for any sort of contractile force at all. And if you do feel some, then that's a 1. If there's no contraction at all, then that's a 0. To test DIP flexion, you once again want to have the client's hand in supination, the palm facing up. All the fingers are going to be extended completely, and you're going to stabilize the finger at the middle phalanx to provide a bit of a fulcrum for the distal joint to bend over. So I'm going to ask the client to bend each individual finger separately once again. So if you could bend the last digit on your pointer finger, please, and don't let me straighten it out. Okay, good. You can relax. On your middle finger. Good. You can relax. Good. You can relax. And the last finger. And relax. So she went through the full range of motion, and she took maximum resistance on each digit, so that would mean she's a 5. If she can just go through the full range of motion, once again, she's a 3 with no resistance. And if you can take minimal resistance, she'll be a 4. If the client is unable to go through the full range of motion with gravity, you're going to once again have them come into mid position. You're going to stabilize them at the wrist, and then you're going to have them extend their fingers out and try to go through the full range of motion without gravity being involved. So you're going to once again ask the client to bend just the tip of that finger, and then if they can go through the full range of motion, there are 2. If they can take some resistance, there'd be a 2+. And you're gonna once again do that for all 4 digits the same exact way. And then if they can't go through, if they have no movement at all, You can palpate on the palmar surface of the middle phalanx, so this joint right here. You can palpate that and ask them to try to move the tip of their finger again. If you feel a contraction, then it's a 1, and if you feel no contraction at all, then it's 0. Thanks.